What's up, Facebook? Second time I just tried to do a live stream, and it said my signal was weak, so hopefully it's a little bit better where I am now. So, welcome to our live stream. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be diving deeper into the process of building your business credit. We're going to be talking about how you can get initial startup credit with vendors that report your credit to the business credit reporting agencies, but don't require any kind of personal guarantee or any kind of personal credit check to get approved. So again, what we're going to do is I'm going to catch you up to speed with where we are in the business credit building process. And then I'm also going to be talking about where we're going in the business credit building process. So thanks for joining us. I'm trying to figure out now how to see everybody's name as I join the live stream, but I will figure that out. So here to the whiteboard. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is talking about this step right here. Step 3, building vendor credit accounts. Who will approve you for initial credit if you have no credit now? So thanks for joining us. I wish I could say hi to everybody, but I'm still trying to figure out how to figure out who's here and who I can say hi to. So I'll figure that as I go. Okay, so to bring you up to speed, what we're talking about here is the only legal way you can build a secondary credit profile. You have a credit profile that's linked to your social security number, and what we're talking about is building a credit profile that's linked to your EIN, okay? So that being said, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be diving in, we're going to be talking about how you can build this credit profile that's linked to your EIN, that's linked to your business, and not building this credit profile that's linked to your social. It's a completely separate credit profile. That's what business credit is. So why would you want to build business credit? Well, a lot of benefits we've talked about before. First of all, there's no impact on your personal credit. This credit reports to the business credit reporting agencies, not the consumer credit reporting agencies. So as a result of that, you can use the credit without affecting the 30% of your credit score that has to do with utilization. You can use this credit and there's no personal inquiries on your personal credit report because again, we're not even pulling your personal credit when we talk about business credit. Another huge benefit, as we've talked about before, is there's no personal guarantee. This is credit you're not liable for because again, there's not even a personal credit check with this type of credit. You can also get this credit really fast. What I'm going to talk to you about today, you're going to be able to get this kind of credit immediately. You're going to be able to get this kind of credit immediately whether or not you have good credit or not because your personal credit is not even going to be looked at. You can start getting high limit store credit accounts within about 60 days building business credit. And that brings me to the next point, high limits. SBA says that business credit accounts are about 10 to 100 times higher limits than what you're actually going to find on the consumer side. So it's very easy to get $2,000 to $10,000 limit accounts within 60 days. I'm going to show you today how to do that. And business credit's perfect because it works for startups. You don't need collateral. You don't need cash flow to actually get approved. And it doubles your borrowing ability because again, it's the only way you can legitimately have a real business credit report that's linked to your EIN, not your social. And most importantly, business credit makes you more lendable. Business credit determines how much you're going to get approved, the credit limits that you're going to get, whether you get approved or get denied, and the terms you'll pay. And as a matter of fact, in future Facebook live streams, what we're going to do is we're going to look at actual business credit reports so you can see exactly how this looks on actual business credit account or business credit reports. And it's important to note that anybody can see your business credit. As a matter of fact, with just as little as your name and your city, anybody can look at your business credit report. So this is just one more reason and a lot of different reasons on why you want to build your business credit. Because again, your personal credit wasn't designed to fund your business. That's what business credit's for, right? The personal credit's for you to use it as an individual, while business credit is intended for you to use as a business. So if you're trying to use your personal credit, and then you're trying to use it here for your business, well, then you have a problem because you're going to lower your consumer scores because it wasn't designed to fund your business. It was designed for you as an individual, not designed for your actual business. So far in the business credit building process, we talked about step 1, credibility. In order to get business credit, you have to have what's conceived as a legitimate, credible business. Okay, and for that to happen, you have to have a real physical business address, not a home address. It needs to be a real physical business address. You could even use a virtual address or a UPS address if need be. As long as you don't use a home address. You're going to need a business phone number. Doesn't have to be a landline. It could be a voice over IP like Ring Central for 10 or 15 bucks a month. You need a fax number that you're going to need to put on the application. You should have a toll-free business number as well. And your number should be listed with 411 as well as all those other things, okay? You're also going to need a business entity such as a corporation or an LLC. Okay, any business entity can build business credit, but a corporation or LLC limits your liability. So if you really want to keep your liability, personal and business, separate, well then what's important is that you shouldn't choose a sole proprietorship or partnership. You should choose a corporation or LLC. You need to have proper licensing for your industry, county, and state, and you need to make sure you're easy to find online and that all your information is congruent, okay? I use a service called Yext for that. You can go to Google, Bing, Yahoo, all the places, 411, make sure your information is congruent, but you need to make sure that the same company that you have listed on all of your business documentation, your bank statements, your utility statements, is the same as what's online. So that's the very first step of building business credit. Now, last week we talked about step 2. And we talked about getting set up with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. So these are the 3 business credit reporting agencies, D&B, Equifax, and Experian Commercial. And you can go to Dun & Bradstreet's service called iUpdate to see if they already have information about you. You can also Google free DUNS number, and you'll be able to get your free DUNS number set up with Dun & Bradstreet. Now, a lot of people think that your DUNS number is what you're building your business credit under, but that's not true at all. Actually, your entire business credit profile is linked to your EIN here. It's not linked to your social. It's linked to your EIN. It's not linked to your DUNS number, but your DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet is one of the initial and most important ways that you it is one of the most important ways that you can get started with building business credit. A lot of places will ask for your DUNS number. Some places will not ask for your DUNS number when you initially get set up. Personal guarantees, so you can get set up with Dun & Bradstreet with their DUNS number at no cost. You can do a search with Equifax and Experian to see if they have any information about you, but that usually costs money. They usually want you to get their credit monitoring. Now, you can always go to creditsuite.com/consult. creditsuite.com/consult. We'll get you a free copy of your credit safe report, and we can pull your Experian report too. We're not allowed to give it to you because Experian won't let us hand out those reports, but we can tell you if you have an established credit profile with Experian, and it won't cost you any money for us to pull that report. creditsuite.com/consult, and we'll do that for you. And Dun & Bradstreet, you can check with iUpdate, and you can also see if they have any information for you. Get your DUNS number for free as well. If you don't want to look for where to get credit with them, you can just go to creditsuite.com/reports. And on that, we actually have links where you can get all 3. So today, we're going to talk about vendor accounts. And let me kind of give you of how all this breaks down, right? So here's how this works. So we've went through, and on step 1, we made sure your business was set up credibly. In step 2, we see if the business reporting agencies have any information about you already. That's very important, and let me show you why. Let's see if I can pull some real business credit reports here to go over this with you and show you. This is important because what happens is you may think that you have no business credit established now. Okay, what's up, Fred? Welcome to the call. But actually what does happen is you actually might have business credit established you just don't know about. So what happens, unfortunately, is that a lot of people don't think they have business credit, and the business credit reporting agencies know that you actually exist. So what happens is they actually will come in and tell you, that will give you a bad score, a low score. What's up, Pat? Welcome to the call. So even if you think you don't have established business credit, chances are very good that you actually do. You just don't have very much credit established, and what happens there is it gives you a really low score. So let me give you some real examples of business credit reports that people let us use as examples here on Periscope and Facebook. I'll show you. Here we go. So here's a business credit report here, right? That's not great score. It's a 51 out of 100 credit score, okay? And the reason it's a 51 is because they just don't have very much credit established. As you can see here, they only have one account that's a credit card that's on their business credit report. That's the only account that's here. So, and it's current. It's a current account, but they have a low score because they just have very little actual business credit established. So you can see the score's low. Here's somebody that thinks they really have no credit established. They actually do have one credit card that reports to the business credit reporting agencies, but unfortunately, the account's new, there's not a lot of history, and so as a result of that, they then have a much lower score. I'll give you another example here. And let me look at some of the reports there, and let me look and see at this one right here. Okay. So here's somebody that has a very low score, right? They have a 12 score. Now, the score ranges from 0 to 100, and the lower your score, the higher the risk that you actually are. So as you can see here, as we go down, again, you've got somebody here that basically just only has one account open. And because they only have one account open, then their score is much lower. Now, let me show you what I'm going to teach you how to do today. Let me show you the opposite end of the spectrum. Those are some people that think that they have better business credit than they do. Now, here's the opposite end. Here's somebody that has a 92 out of 100 because they've done exactly what I'm telling you we're going to do here. They're being recommended for $22,200 in credit. And they're going to do exactly what I've showed you we're going to do, or what we're going to go through today. So they've come in and they've got these accounts, okay? Small accounts, which I'm going to show you how to do. Net 30 accounts for $100, $100. Here's another one for $400, for example. And they're paying these accounts as agreed. Then what happens is they go from having a very low score here. You can see their scores were very low, 10 and 12. Then their scores shoot up to 96 and 92. And the reason their scores shoot up from 10 to 12 all the way up to 96, 92, which is very, very high scores, is because they got these small accounts, they paid them as agreed, they were then given a good score, and then because their scores are good, then they're able to come in here and get these kind of accounts. $900 accounts, $1,000 accounts, $1,400 accounts, okay? Here's some more accounts that they have here. $9,900 credit card, okay? $4,000 credit card. Now, this is somebody, his name is Mark. He follows us on Periscope. He actually just got approved for a $3,500 Amazon card. Just got approved for a $1,500 Staples card and a $7,500 Apple credit card. All without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. How did he do it? I showed you on the report. Now let me show you on the whiteboard. So this is exactly how he did it. Step 3. He went and got credit with a few of these different creditors, which we call vendors. So Uline is one. Okay, Quill is another. They sell shipping supplies, Uline. Quill sells office supplies. Monopolize Your Marketplace does marketing. Gimplers does like outdoor stuff, right? So you might think, well, I have an office. There's not a lot I could buy at Gimplers. I bought batteries the other day at Gimplers to build business credit. Seton is another one. So these are all creditors that will give you credit even if you have no business credit established now. They will not require a personal credit check at all for approval, and they will also not require a personal guarantee. But most important, not only will they give you credit without a credit check, they report that credit to these guys, DMB, Experian, and Equifax, on your business credit report, not your consumer credit report. So what they're doing is they're reporting credit here, helping you establish a business credit report. They're not requiring a personal credit report review for approval, which means you have no personal guarantee. So these are very, very important vendors. This is one of the most important steps in building business credit because they'll give you credit if you have none. They report to credit on your business credit reporting agencies. And within about 60 days or less of getting credit with these guys, using the credit, paying the bill, that credit reports here to DMB that gives you a credit profile, that gives you a credit score, and that's what helps you start getting to the next step, which we'll talk about next week, which is all kind of high limit credit accounts. So I'm going to show you on the whiteboard, then we're going to go back and I'm going to show you on a real report. So first step was they made sure their business was set up credibly. Then they made sure they got their DUNS number, checked to see if they had any credit with the business credit reporting agencies. Then they got some accounts here. You get Uline, you get Quill, you get a few of these. The one report I'm going to show you that they actually did, they went and got Uline and Quill and Seton were I think a few of the credit accounts they got initially. Don't provide your social, which means there's not a consumer credit report pull. There's no personal guarantee. And within about 60 days of paying your bill, those accounts report to the business credit reporting agency. So let's go back and look at the actual report so you can see exactly what we're talking about. They came in here, they got Uline, they got Quill, they got a few of these low limit accounts here, okay? They had no business credit established, but the business credit bureaus knew who they were, so they had low scores. Then they got those accounts. They paid these small accounts as agreed, these net 30 accounts. They're not revolving accounts, vendor accounts. They're more like net accounts, net 30 accounts. They got these small accounts. They used them. They paid the bill. Then what happened was their scores skyrocketed. They literally went from 12, one of the lowest you could get, to 96 in 1 quarter. How did they do it? They did exactly what I just told you. They got Uline, they got Quill, they got Seton, they got vendor accounts, they used them, they paid their bills as agreed, and because they did that, their score went from here to 96. Now what happens? Now what happens is they start to come in and get $9,900 credit. Now they get $4,000 credit. So now what happens is all these higher limit accounts start opening up for them because they're actually have an established business credit profile and score. So this is why what I'm showing you is so important, because you might be here. You probably have no credit established, and that would mean that you're very low on the credit scoring spectrum. Then all of a sudden when you get credit and it reports to the business credit reporting agencies, you shoot up to this. What does this mean? Why is this good? This is why it's good, right here. Because what's happening is Experian is now telling people that are pulling the business credit report, hey, give this person $22,000 in credit. That's what they should qualify for. So as a result of that, now this person is coming in here and getting Staples accounts and Amazon and Lowe's and all these. So for example, this exact case, Mark, he keeps me updated of his progress. He just got a $1,500 at Staples card. He got a $3,500 Amazon card, a $7,500 Apple credit card, all with no social required and with no personal guarantee. Pretty sweet, right? Imagine no matter how bad your personal credit is, within months being able to get $3,500 to $7,500 limit accounts at all these kind of stores. So now I've just shown you so far exactly how we're doing this. Build your credibility. Step 1, get your DUNS number set up with a business reporting agency. Step 2. Step 3, get these small accounts. Uline, Quill, Monopolize Your Marketplace, Gimpler, Seaton are some examples of them. Get them, use them, pay them as agreed, and then as a result, you'll actually have an established business credit profile and score so you can start getting high limit store accounts after. So now I've given you a pretty good idea. What's up, Edward? Welcome to the call. Now I've given you a pretty good idea of how this works. We've actually looked at real business credit reports to see not just only on a whiteboard in theory how this works, but real business credit reports so you can see exactly how this all goes down. So in next week's live stream, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking more about how you take the next step, how you get store accounts, what kind of store accounts you should get first, how that process works, and we'll move on from there. The week after, we'll talk about how to get fleet credit, etc. And somewhere in between, we might even get a chance to look at some cool, famous businesses, business credit reports as well. So now you have a good idea of how this process works. Today, we covered vendor accounts, how to get your accounts to start your initial business credit profile and score. We even looked at a real report to see it as well as the whiteboard. Next week, we'll talk more about store credit, so make sure you follow us live here on Facebook. We do these live streams every Thursday at about 11 a.m. Eastern time now, so you'll know when to get us. So again, make sure you join us next week at 11 o'clock on Thursday. We'll dive into exactly how you can start getting high limit store revolving credit accounts. We'll look at it in the whiteboard. We'll look at it on real business credit reports so you'll know exactly how this process works. So thanks for taking the time to join us today. Hopefully you got some good information, education out of this, and I look forward to seeing you next week on our Facebook live stream Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and have a good Veterans Day. And please make sure that you honor all of our veterans because they're very, 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 very important to our country. So thanks, everybody. See you next Thursday at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live.